Hi, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, where every week I give you the latest spiritual happenings as communicated to me from Source, whatever's for the highest and greatest good to share, and sometimes other kinds of cool things that I want to share with you as well. And if you've been following along the last couple of weeks, I've been going through the 4 phases of the ascension cycle. And in the last week, we went through all 4 phases. So in case you were like watching last week, you're like, what phase are we in? You know, we're back at the integration phase. Yes, we went through all 4 phases very, very quickly this week. What I do want to tell you this week is not having to do with the phases per se, but about water. There's been I've been working on this for a while and haven't really communicated too much because I'm doing a lot of questioning, experimentation, checking in with my Topican healing practitioners, students to see what their feedback is. But I do want to share this with you today. So there have been a few of us that are what we call light being star seeds. And that means that in other timelines, we were just pure light, no body. So we incarnate into this timeline. And sometimes what happens with ascension upgrades, where the energy of the world kind of, the vibe comes up, is that we end up making a lot of water. So we swell. Now, if you were to talk to any other holistic, provider, or even someone who's an expert in water without some of the spiritual background that we're talking about today, they would probably say, oh, that's really unhealthy. You're getting edema, and that's really bad. You should change this in your diet, that in your diet. You have leaky gut, blah, 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 right? Okay. So what we're finding is that for many light being star seeds, that it's not any of those negative things that are happening in their body, but that they are able to create a ton of what's called EZ water. Now, EZ water is the short form for exclusion zone water. It's the 4th phase of water. Now, if you remember, science in grade school or in, I guess, high school, you have like liquid phase, right, of water. Then you have ice, which is the frozen phase, and you have vapor, right? You have those 3 phases, but there's actually a 4th phase of water. I interviewed Dr. Gerald Pollack about this, and he has a book called The 4th Phase of Water. So the 4th phase of water is actually called EZ water, exclusion zone water. I want to explain here technically why it's called that. But basically, this is a form of structured water in your body, meaning that the water molecules aren't just all kind of random. They're actually structured in a way, and there's some thickness to it. And you can actually see these in various experiments. Now, according to Dr. Pollack, the more EZ water you have, the healthier you are. Like there's higher energy, so to speak. There's the structure is able to hold energy. And in my conversations with Source, asking why there's so much of it. First of all, it's very difficult to quantify this objectively outside of intuitive questioning, because how do you cut someone else open and figure out how much EZ water they have versus, the bad kind of water, which they call bulk water. So the bulk water is not bad. What I mean is bulk water is just water sitting around in a place where it's not supposed to be. Okay, so that's what I'm using as a definition right now. So for example, if someone's got liver disease, like they have an alcoholic, they have cirrhosis of the liver, what'll happen is that the liver will just be like a big little leathery chunk, and they'll actually extravasate lots of fluid in their gut, and literally they will look pregnant with fluid. Like you can literally poke a hole, which we do, poke a hole in their belly and all the stuff falls out, right? That is not good. That is called ascites. That is very, very, usually people are very ill when they have that. Same thing when people have heart disease and the heart pump is not very good. So the water kind of pools, and it usually pools in the ankles, and they get swollen ankles, feet and ankles. And that's not very good either. Sometimes they have vein disease, and the blood leaks out and discolors the skin in the calf area. And that's not very good either. That's that bulk water is just, just extravasating out of the blood vessels. EZ water does not do that, okay? So if you are seemingly swelling, you can actually ask, if you know divine muscle testing, you can actually ask what percentage of this swelling or excess volume that I'm noticing is made up of water. First of all, you can get a percentage, and if it's 100% or high, then you can actually go and check what percentage of it is EZ water, exclusion zone water, which is the structured water, okay, which is basically an amazing crystal. That's what it is. It's a liquid crystal that actually holds energy, okay, versus bulk water, okay, which you are gonna just pee out, poop out, sweat out at some point, okay, if you're healthy, okay? So that's what we're calling bulk water. So what percentage is what? So for a lot of light being starseeds, every time we go through an ascension upgrade or upgrades, sometimes they will just make a whole bunch of easy water. And the reason why, my understanding currently is, the reason why is that there's so much spiritual information that can be held almost like the silicone chip in your computer, or maybe like a USB, one of those little USB devices that holds a lot of 128 gigabytes of information, okay? So it's sort of like that. So your easy water holds a lot of spiritual information. So the thing is it really necessary for those of us that are light being starseeds? And that's only one of my souls, so I get a little easy compared to some of the other people. But is it really necessary for light being starseeds to produce so much easy water? And the answer is yes and no. So there's a stage that we go through in our evolution where, yes, we produce a lot of easy water, but what's supposed to happen ideally, and we have to teach our bodies how to do this, is that easy water, that liquid crystal, that information needs to process to some degree. Like there's energy that needs to process. My understanding, current understanding, is that easy water ideally actually does a form of energy exchange, so to speak. So the energy information that is in that water that is being created can be transferred or converted into energy of some type at the heart line. Now the heart line is a big tube of energy going all the way down your spine, out the butt, at the top of the head. So that is like your power line, and it actually feeds in all the chakras, the different energy transformers in your body. So at the heart line is where this energy transformation occurs from the easy water. And then what happens, supposed to happen, is that once it transfers that energy in the heart line level, then the easy water is not necessary in that degree of quantity, and then gets converted to bulk water. Yeah. So, and then you pee and poop out the bulk water. So we can say, okay, well, it's not necessary for us to carry that much easy water on our physical bodies as a human, because I gained 30 pounds because of it. Okay. So, 35, anyway, lost count. So I had gained that much. And so I realized that I could test, like how happy is my easy water conversion energetically. If that was 98%, guess what? I would pee a lot during the day. I would drink a lot, which is good, because there's a long story of why drinking water is good, structured water is good. I won't get into it here. But if you don't drink enough, you'll actually retain water. So anyway, so if that conversion is above 95%, I don't hold on to that easy water, and the thickness isn't there. Literally, it was so thick before that, I couldn't even do this, like move the skin around, because like right now, I don't know if you can see, but you can see like the little lines, right, in my arm. Couldn't do that before. It was like a gel, I couldn't get wrinkles, and so everything was really tight, like a balloon for me previously. So now I can also check, in addition to how well can I do the energy conversion from easy water, to the heart line, I can also check how happy is the easy water to bulk water conversion. In other words, that physicality of going from the structured state to the bulk water state, where then we can pee and poop. Okay, pee, poop, sweat it out, whatever. Like I said, if that's efficient, and your channels of elimination are efficient. So that's something else you can test if you have divine muscle testing skills. How happy is my kidneys, ureters, colon, as far as, and even sweat glands, like in terms of releasing extra bulk water I don't need and is not for the highest and greatest good. You get a percentage out of 100%. So if all things are good to go, then theoretically you don't have to hold that much water. Okay, so here's where the news comes in, because this is old stuff actually, but only people that are in my group who are like being starseeds, who have to deal with this on a daily basis, do they really know all of this stuff to a great degree. My Topican level 1 and level 2 practitioners, so and level 2 practitioners and clients. So this week, the information that came through was very interesting, because the water in our bodies are evolving, like so many other things in our bodies are evolving. And this week, the message was that even our bulk water is evolving. Because I'm thinking bulk water, the water molecules just kind of all over the place, you pee it out, whatever. But I had this day where I was retaining the bulk water, and I thought that's odd, and because my conversion was good, but it wasn't, releasing the bulk water as efficiently as ideally. And so it was a hint from the universe to test some more. And so what I tested was the bulk water is evolving into a form of structured water as well. Now, not the same as easy water, which is almost looks like a crystal battery. But bulk water can become a type of structured water we call hexagonal water. Now, this is water that you can make with an electrolysis machine and drink it, but I'm talking about inside your bodies. So the bulk water is evolving into this hexagonal water, which is actually interesting. And in that way, it makes it slipperier. Now, we know when we actually put certain supplements in water and shake it around that the water becomes wetter, meaning that it is in smaller clusters and it kind of shoots through the straw easier, or it absorbs into your cells easier. So same thing with the bulk water, is that if the bulk water becomes hexagonal water, it actually can go through the vessels easier, it can move around easier, and that's pretty darn interesting. So you can actually check to say how optimally structured is my bulk water, compared to what is optimal for me. So maybe you're not at that stage yet where you're needing to do that, but it's kind of cool that you can test it out and see if your efficiency of, especially if you're like being starseed, of converting easy water to bulk water, easy water energy to the Hara line is 100% or near 100%. If your excretion pathways, colon, kidneys, ureter, etc., are near 100%. When your bulk water is optimally structured, whether or not you have a release of fluid so much that you lose quote unquote weight or mass. So that would be pretty interesting. I would love your feedback on that. So if you're on YouTube, please post comments below, or if you're on Facebook, you can post comments below, so we can get kind of a head count, like, who's experiencing this and who isn't. So I think it's very interesting. I think there'll be more related to water in the future as well. So you definitely want to stay tuned. And if this is of interest this stuff that we're talking about is interesting to you, definitely, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another exciting episode of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. Okay, so that is the really interesting stuff we learned about water, and we don't have time to go into exactly what spiritual information is being held, and then, why do some people have easy water and some people don't? Well, I think everybody has easy water to a certain degree. I think there is a way of measuring how healthy you are, and I think it's a reflection of the easy water. For example, cell capacitance, phase angle, there's certain types of instrumentation like bioimpedance that can measure those kinds of things. It's just that people got in trouble if they're like being starseeds having too much of it. They weren't able to convert it efficiently. And what I have found personally is that now that I have downloaded the blueprint, I mentioned this several weeks ago, it's called the Breatharian Blueprint. I downloaded the Breatharian Blueprint, meaning that this is a blueprint of me being able to function without actually having to eat. Now, don't get me wrong, love to eat. Okay, so I'm not going to stop eating anytime soon. But the Breatharian Blueprint is something that if you don't have, you can actually download it. And so you have the blueprint of being able to get energy directly from source without having to convert it through food. Now, there are two other things required in order for you to be fully breatharian if you choose to do that. And I have to, say on video that we do not necessarily recommend people stop eating. It could be dangerous for you. Everyone's individual, yada, 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 for medical legal reasons. But anyway, the two other ingredients, according to source, is number one is stillness. So I teach it through the technique I'll call STOM, so stillness through observing internal movement. And you can get a copy of that, free description. I'll link it to this website. I link it to this video. It's on my website. And so the stillness, ideally, is 9 to 10% of the waking time. Yeah, that's a lot of stillness, isn't it? The cool thing is the way I teach it, or the way I do it, is that I can be in stillness even if I'm doing something. So you're being while you're doing, okay? And that's really, really helpful, right? Because nobody wants to go, well, some people do, all day long without doing anything productive that they want to do. So the third ingredient is actually Buteyko breathing. So it's a type of breathing, which we all should be doing, and I am working on mine. Not that great yet, but will be, is breathing only through the nose and being able to take good breaths, but not over breathing, which most of us apparently do. And then it decreases our carbon dioxide too much. And there was a whole radio show on that as well. So maybe I'll link that down below. I'll have to remember that. Stone and Buteyko breathing. So what I've noticed is that I'm experimenting with my diet and having, one of my souls as a light being starseed. It's been really interesting because I notice if I am doing more liquid nutrition, so bone broth smoothies, bone broth, plenty of water, and doing one solid meal a day, that I don't seem to collect the easy water as much, which is really cool. Like, it seems to process faster because I guess maybe I'm not using as much energy of my energy and digestion. It seems to digestion seems to clog things up a little bit for certain soul types. So you might want to experiment with that. Just make sure that if you have any medical issues, to get your blessing of your doctor before you go on an intermittent fast or before you go on a bone broth fast. But I have noticed that when I actually asked God finally, how much calories should I eat per day, it was markedly lower than what I was eating. Because I was just eating because I thought I should eat. I wasn't really hungry, but I was like, oh, it's time to eat, so I'd eat all the solid food. But now I realize, after downloading the Breatharian Blueprint, that my body actually doesn't want to eat solid food as much. So right now, I get up in the morning and I drink my water or tea. And then I heat up some bone broth. I drink a cup or two of the bone broth. Then around noonish, I have my bone broth smoothie. So it's bone broth protein with some vegetables and fruit, like berries usually, and avocado. I love avocado. And maybe another scoop of collagen, something or other. Okay. And so that's my smoothie. So that's kind of like my lunch. And then we have usually an early dinner, and that's like a solid meal, right? And if I'm hungry in between, which I normally am not, I might do another cup of bone broth. So maybe 3 cups of bone broth a day. So that is what's working for me right now. You will have to experiment with yourself and just, like I said, make sure that if you have any physical illnesses at all, if you're on medications, that kind of thing, this really could change your dosage if you're diabetic or high blood pressure. So definitely get your doctor's blessing before you try something like that. But what I've noticed is my body is just so much happier this way, so much slimmer. I was 142, then I since October then went down with a HCG type diet to 142 to 130-ish, right? And then I did Dr. Kellyanne's 10-day belly slim down, but I cut it short because I did her 5-day, because she had a new book out, 5-day cleanse and reset diet. And then I'm sort of doing this thing I just told you, which is like a modified 10-day belly slim down. Okay, I'm not using her recipes per se, but doing a lot of bone broth soups and things like that. And I gotta tell you, I think this intermittent fasting thing is finally working for me. Now, just as I just want to be totally transparent, that throughout all of that, I have been using LifeWave patches. So if you go, well, you weren't hungry. Well, I'm like, well, yeah, I actually have some support as well. So I have the energy enhancer patches. I have the SP6 appetite control patch, keeps my blood sugar nice and even. At least that's my personal experience. So that's been really great. The X39 stem cell enhancing patch, and then Ice Wave if needed for any aches and pains or whatever going on. I do skate, and do martial arts. And so it's really working well for me. And so, but the funny thing is when I go and travel, I might actually eat 3 meals and my weight doesn't change. It just kind of stays the same. So whether I fast or don't fast, it seems to stay the same. So I have this new set point around 126 to 127 pounds, which I'm much happier at, feel better, look better, skate better than when I was 142 pounds. And my ultimate ideal is about 117, because that's probably about 5 pounds heavier than my past competitive weight years ago. And I think, but I'm not like actively trying to do that right now. I'm just skating. I'm just doing my thing. My weight's kind of holding. And I believe that water logging that I had before, all that easy water, can process so much easier because I'm just not, having to put all this food in my belly and then it kind of has to take all that energy to process. Anyway, that's one of my thoughts of what's going on. So please experiment if you feel safe to do that, and give me some feedback, over the next few weeks, what that's like for you. A couple of announcements. Number one is that I launched on the Elevated Existence Telesummit on Tuesday, the 25th of February. And for a limited time, we are selling the Light Warrior Bootcamp 2.0 at a much discounted rate. There's 2 packages. Package A, which is the whole program, including the 4 bonus masterclasses all about entities. So you learn about the different types of entities, what makes them attracted to someone, how you can shift, your environment to make you less attractive, how we used to do entity clearing and how do we do now, which is much more efficient and safer and all that kind of good stuff. And then, of course, the actual main modules, which is both healing and training, how to do personal clearing for you and all versions of you in all timelines, as well as your loved ones, and also how to do space clearing. So how to clear your house, your property, and just note that, some things are underground, so you're going to have to search for those things to clear those things. Then we share with you my protocol on how to clear electronic equipment, which I haven't known anybody actually to specifically teach that. And also your sleep realms, where you go when you sleep, and how we do a detailed evaluation of that and clearing. So you get to do the clearing with me as you do the modules, as well as I give you the actual questions that I ask as a Topicana healing practitioner to be able to assess those things if you so choose to learn muscle testing and assess those things yourself as well in the future. So we give you all of that plus the Ascension 1 and 2, which helps you auto clear stuff. So literally like a magic wand. So Ascension 1 is to clear negative energy. So you just turn it on and you point the direction of where you want it to clear. Just tell it what to do. Say, hey, Ascension 1, go clear my friend Judy's house. And then it goes ahead and does that according to the protocol. Ascension 2, of course, is the second one, and that is for healing and integration. So if you got problems with boundaries, if you want the high vibrational energy of abundance, these are things that you can download to yourself. They're already infused into Ascension 2. You just have to ask it to do that. So those are your 2 little magic wands that come with the Light Warrior Bootcamp 2.0 program. So we are sharing this at a much discounted rate. So check it out. I'll post a link below from Elevated Existence. Again, this is not going to last a long time because it is a Telesummit launch. I have very few package B's available because that's one-on-ones with me. I will soon be graduating. I'm so excited. The first set of Topican Healing Level 2 practitioners. So they're going to be certified practitioners in my modality, Topican Healing Method. I will be doing less and less one-on-ones, and they will be taking over doing one-on-ones. And there's, anyway, it's going to really help out. So if you definitely say, I want to work with Dr. Karen and I want to get a one-on-one with her, then this is a great opportunity because it is at a much, much lower price than on the website, on my website. So Light Warrior Bootcamp 2.0, pick package B. There are, I think there's several as of this recording. I know this is, if you're on the email list, this is several days late, but there are still spots available for package B if you want a one-on-one with me. So that's announcement number 1. So just check that out. The replay is going to be going on at the end of this weekend, and then it's going to be shut down. So check out the interview. We actually do a Topican healing clearing vortex meditation and clearing. So check that out. So number 2 announcement is that Monday's radio show on Light Warrior Radio is a Ask the LifeWave Doctors radio show, the first Monday of the month. So Dr. Dennis Lobstein and I are going to be fielding questions from anyone who has any question about LifeWave, as well as doing a specific topic. So this month's topic is going to be on hair thinning. So you're going to learn the Chinese medicine background that explains why people get hair thinning, and that is not my problem. But for those that it is, you'll understand the Chinese medicine background of why people get hair thinning and how you can use acupuncture points, activate them with LifeWave phototherapy patches to help you optimize your ability to regrow hair that you want to have, right? Hair on your head, right? That you want to have. So join us for that special show on Monday, 12 noon Eastern with Dr. Dennis and I. Will include the link below. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. You can click the link later and listen to the archive. But if you are live, what's really cool is we will have a time to field your questions. Anything related to LifeWave, you can ask us, except for disease names. So, but if you want to know, how to best sell them, we can share with you that, how to use them for painful knee, we can share that kind of thing. So that's the link below. And the last announcement is that, and this comes in quick succession, is that the UWealth Revolution Telesummit is starting its 19th season. Wow, amazing. 19th season. And I have been asked to be a featured speaker. And this time around, I'm going to be sharing my program called the Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program. It's specifically for highly sensitive people, highly sensitive and spiritual people who know that they are sensitive, that they have some special problems that regular doctors and that are special and that they're difficult sometimes to heal. So the program that I'm going to be sharing has to do with those of you that are indigo souls, earth angel souls, starseed souls, hybrids, ET human hybrids, yes, those that have walk-ins and walk-outs. There's some special issues that are challenges, and so I'm going to be sharing some really cool stuff there. And the really neat thing is that breatharian blueprint I talked about earlier, that actually is going to be an expiring bonus, meaning that is a limited time bonus. We are going to include a specific MP3 to help you download that breatharian blueprint as part of this package. Now, don't worry if you already bought this package previously. I will make this available to you. Just give me some time. A lot of technical stuff that has to happen. But so if you don't have this program, you're interested in it, if you're a sensitive soul, definitely listen to the free interview. And the link below is the one you want to use to opt in to the Telesummit email so you know what Telesummit interviews are coming up next. Mine is going to be March 9th, so coming up pretty soon. So just get on Darius's email list at UWealth Revolution. You will get access to all of the speakers. Their interviews will be free, for that week, and is well worth listening to. So lots of stuff going on, lots of positive stuff going on. I wish you the very best this week, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Mwah. Bye for now.